Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast for two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me as always is Ben Slinger.
Good evening, Trevor.
Good evening. Well, we've got two to record tonight. Let's get straight into it.
Well, don't give it away. Don't give away the behind-the-scenes juice of how we make our magic. All right. Okay, well, let's get into it. Click pitch. I guess we're just going to do click pitch. Let's just do click pitch.
Yeah.
Click pitch is a game where Trevor and I each have a random word generator in front of us. And when on the count of 3, 2, 1, click, we're going to click refresh and get a new word. And we're going to turn those words into game design magic.
Wow. How do you do that?
Or garbage.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, is my first word. I didn't actually mean to say garbage. I was going to say something else, but it was right in front of me on the screen. Anyway. Should we click?
Okay. Yep. 3, 2, 1, click.
Garbage. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's my word. Sigh.
Oh. I thought you got a really bad word or something dirty. I mean, garbage is kind of dirty, but a garbage sigh. Interesting. So when do you sigh? You sigh when you're exasperated, you're depressed.
So is it a game about a garbage man and he's
just like
unsure where to go with his life?
He's just kind of over it. There's just garbage. It's just endless. Endless garbage. These people in this world just keep creating garbage.
And it never stops.
Maybe he's not a garbage man. Maybe it's a garbage truck. Maybe you play as a garbage truck.
You play as a sentient garbage truck.
Yeah, we like doing that on this show. Creating sentient, inanimate objects. What would a sentient garbage truck that's tired of all the garbage that humanity is creating do? Refuse to take its refuse?
Good question.
Okay, I guess the first thing is it a murderous garbage truck? Does it just decide, like, listen, I've been watching the Terminator movies. When machines become sentient, they often decide that humanity is not worth keeping around. Maybe the trigger for this garbage truck deciding that humanity was not worth keeping is that they just keep creating garbage. That's all they do is these just garbage pumps, and it just decides that it needs to take them out and compact them one by one. Yep.
Okay, so I'm now wondering how a stealth mission may go with this.
Take your tires off.
Especially because you can't reverse, because as soon as you're reversing, you get the beep, beep, beep.
That's it. A stealth mission is that you cannot go backwards. You can't reverse. Oh, I love that. Well, so
do I.
So I'm thinking, so how do you lure people into the back of your truck? Like, I mean, the first level's easy because you've got a guy or two on the back there anyway, and as long as you just like flip the little I don't know, or maybe
I've got
like your bin thing, your bin picker upper.
You fake a jam so that they have to get in there and sort of clear some of the stuff out, and then you just compact. Yeah. Well, I do like that idea of using the like automatic bin arm to just grab people from the sidewalk and just throw them in there, kicking and flailing. I don't know. Maybe there are some stealth elements. Maybe it's a matter of you can't be too obvious about it because everyone will run screaming, including the fact that you've got to balance up how full your truck is. Because you can't compact it too often, because when you compact it, like, blood just sloshes out the sides and everyone knows what's happening. But if you put too many in there without compacting, then they can climb out and escape. Yeah. Okay, so where is this truck going to empty the contents? Into a river?
Sure, you get points for how many people's water supply you corrupt with dead bodies and people juice.
People juice.
Don't say that 3 times.
So later on in the game, I'm now seeing that as you're driving down, if you stop for too long, you just get some ibises that are just sort of hanging around because they love the bin juice. And so I'm now trying to think of, okay, can we use the ibises to like lure people into like?
Except people hate ibises.
I know.
My son calls it the pushy bird. For those who don't have ibises, I don't know, are they all over Australia? Anyway.
Yeah, but mainly in Perth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a fair few of them here in the east of Melbourne, at least. And, they're just these annoying fucking birds who will grab your food and...
Bin juice drinking dregs.
Drink your bin juice. They're disgusting.
Also known as a bin chicken.
So, yeah, I mean, that's thematically correct for our game then. So, I don't know. I mean, they could just be sort of flavor. I'm sure every region has their sort of rodents or their creatures, scavengers that come for your garbage. So maybe depending on where you're playing, you get like raccoons or bears or ibises.
I just thought because you said they're just there for flavor.
Oh no!
Maybe that's the reason why the garbage truck just got really depressed, because it grew taste buds, so it could actually taste taste all the stuff in the back.
Yeah, sure. These people keep throwing out all this gross tasting stuff, and I just had it. I've had it.
Yep, it was one nappy too far.
Ah,
and 3 to 1 click.
Yes.
Guidance.
Touching guidance. So my mind went to mechanics straight away. Yeah, just with not the profession.
Ah.
Although that could maybe work. No,
I'm
more
thinking...
of just that you are somehow guiding a hand, indirectly, perhaps. Like guiding makes me, usually in a game you're directly controlling a hand or a character. That just made me think of a way that you might indirectly control a hand or something to touch something else, I suppose. So it's fairly vague.
See, because of guidance and touching, I sort of thought touched by an angel, and then I was thinking guiding a hand, so therefore VR, and I immediately was sort of like, okay, can we get some sort of cool mechanic out of you're an angel, touching people, trying to guide them to do things,
touching them physically, not emotionally.
Yeah, as in
both hopefully.
Both hopefully. Well, depends what sort of touching, because
there's
bad touching and good touching.
Yeah, we're not going down the bad touch route, I think. Let's leave that up to Trump and Harvey Weinstein, just to keep topical. Angels wouldn't do that, right? I guess Satan's technically an angel.
Yeah. Lucifer was an angel.
Yeah.
A fallen angel. So I'm seeing that maybe you can sort of select what sort of guidance you like to give this person. Like maybe you got almost like a Sims like emoticon thing saying what this person's missing from life, so you can help them out by saying that they're missing love, so you use your little thumbstick to choose.
If only it were that easy.
Where your love was, you select that and you touch the person.
We all each
on the heart, and they go off.
And if only we all each had a little slider or a little thing that told us what we were all missing in life.
But later on in the game, it can get a little bit more confusing in that, people could have 2 or 3 things that they're sort of missing, and you as the angel can see into their soul, sort of thing.
So what's the result of you touching them? So let's
they're now on a path to find that thing.
Okay.
So if it's love, they could be going off. But I think where things could get a little bit interesting is when you come across like maybe some dark souls that actually. Yes, I know I just made a reference to a game, but I'm I'm seeing it as like someone who's actually
troubled, like a broken soul in some way.
Well, I was thinking sort of psychotic, maybe.
Yeah.
And sort of murderous. So
right. So so you see the little thing pop up above their head. And it's like what they're missing from life: killing people,
beheading someone.
Yeah.
It's like
so you were just about to touch them. It's like, oh no, maybe I won't give him that.
Well,
because statistically,
maybe
it would be
you can. Maybe you can touch them, but it's the touch of death, so you can actually like.
So now you're like judge, jury, executioner. You've just got people dropping dead. I assume you're an invisible angel, or are you like a manifestation in the real world as a human that people don't know? Listen, I feel like I like the idea of the angel touching, or the touched by an angel. I feel like
but you just want to know how it works.
Well, I feel like exactly. I feel like we need to pivot it a bit away from the sort of Sims-ish thing.
Oh, see, I was thinking, okay, this person is rather, murderous or whatever. So now they've got a fascination with crossing the road continuously. So they keep on crossing the road until they get hit by a car.
I guess I don't really... So is it just sort of an open world almost where people... Like, how does it play out? Do these characters each have their own AI that is driven by these desires? And so
I think so.
Is it that you look into this person's soul and see that they need love, but they don't already know they need love? Like, what would change about their behavior after you touch them? Like, what have you given them, I guess?
Good question. But now I'm actually seeing it as a like massively multiplayer game that you got multiple angels and you control one person. So that's pivoting it away from maybe the Sims type
that's
thing.
That's fine, yeah. So
that you're actually controlling your one person.
Everybody play an angel?
Everyone plays an angel. And the only characters that, your main idea in the game is to keep your character alive.
Okay.
Now, that could be by, going out and, just buying food and all that sort of stuff, or it could be, survival of the fittest.
Oh, sorry. Like, okay, so you're a guardian angel for a person.
Yep.
And that's who you're trying to keep alive.
Yep.
Sorry, I thought you meant keeping yourself alive.
No.
Okay, are other angels trying to kill your person?
I'm thinking that you can get the few bad apples that could try and kill your person.
Right.
Now, if your person does happen to die, then you get assigned another one, but you just get a mark against your name sort of thing.
It's like how many humans you've let die on your watch.
And then you got a counter for how many you've had your guy murder and,
Oh, okay, because you can't, as an angel, of course, you can't necessarily murder other people directly.
No, and you can't actually control other people's actions. So you could have, interesting
and
things
you can't even control your own person's actions directly. All you can do is guide them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So is that a little bit better? A little bit?
I mean, there's some meat there. I'm still trying to figure out whether it's fun or not. Because, like, if it's literally just most of the time day-to-day actions and you're just the guardian angel sitting there like, oh, when's something going to happen to this guy?
And it's in real time.
Yeah, it's real time. He's just like, he's sitting there fucking watching Parks and Recreation and you're just like, I mean, it's a good episode, but...
But we've already watched like 3 episodes on the train ride home.
Yeah. It's like, come on, someone come and try to murder this guy so I can... I mean, and even then, if someone comes to murder your guy, what, as an angel, can you do about it? Except, like, guide them
how
to
well you've
run like
them
buggery.
It depends on how well you've actually guided them into, like... getting good at self-defense and getting awesome knife skills, like they're hip Archie chefs that can, take out other people.
So is it the idea that it's all about preparation, but you also have to be inconspicuous about it because like if you're walking around with tons of weapons and a black belt on, then nobody's going to attack your person. But or maybe everyone, I don't know, like, it's obvious the sort of training that you've given them or guided them into.
Yep.
But, yeah, if you, like, take them to chef school, or car polishing, wax on, wax off
Wax
school,
on, wax off.
catching flies with chopsticks school, then it's a bit
And
less obvious.
painting the fence school.
Yeah, then it's a bit less obvious that they're gonna be able to kick your ass.
And crane kick school.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, this one's a bit messy. I like some of the ideas. I think we should click again.
Okay, 3 to 1 click.
Named.
Plus.
Named plus. It's a
Got
game.
anything?
It's a game. It's a very simple game where you have to choose people to get married so that when they hyphenate their names, they make funny words. They make the funniest names possible, and then you share them on Facebook.
I'm now wondering, what sort of names they are and where
Well,
these
like
names are coming from.
if you get Joanne Dingle to marry Fred Berry,
Berry Dingle, what's that?
it's funny, is what it is. It's hilarious. I'm gonna get so many fucking likes and laugh reactions.
Terry Oculus and Kerry Rift.
You just named the first thing you could see.
And I used Terry and Kerry because I couldn't think of any other fucking names.
Ben, computer, and Trevor, screen. Okay, let's click again.
Gay marriage. 3 to 1 click.
Okay. Laying. I wasn't laughing at my word. I was laughing at you slipping gay marriage in there. He said. Vote yes. Laying.
Posting.
Laying and posting. Neither of those are nouns. I had nouns selected.
Same here.
Those aren't nouns.
No.
They're adjectives, really. Anyway, who cares? Whatever. Laying posted. So it's a
Posting.
Oh, posting. Laying and posting.
Yep.
Well, I guess they're.
So is it a game about? Is it a game about being lazy and not having sent your marriage
survey? Yeah.
Back. So it's sort of a game about procrastination. Only the game never got made. 3 to 1 click.
Yeah. Okay. There could have been. Yeah, I wasn't ready to go political on that one. All right. Fear.
Park.
Fear park.
P-A-R-K. Fear of the park.
Fear of the park. Fear park. So it's a, is it a theme park?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, either that or someone who's really afraid of parallel parking. All right, a theme park. So
it's just a garbage truck game again.
It's the garbage truck game where you play the pedestrian and you fear of going near parked garbage trucks because they might fucking grab you.
Fucking Ivises.
I mean, so fear as a theme park sort of thing. I mean, I guess there could be some interesting mechanics there where you're purposefully building a theme park to be like horror. So it's a horror themed thing and you're trying to scare your guests? Or
I think that maybe you can be a theme park worker. And there was a old like creepypasta that I read ages and ages ago that was just like a message board sort of things with all these different letters that have been posted on it. And it was sort of like whoever keeps on taking the costumes out after dark, please make sure that you clean them before you bring them back. And it just each note gets darker and darker and talking about like security guards who have gone missing and all this sort of stuff. So I think playing around with the psychological sort of thriller thing within a park, within a theme park, like maybe your security guard after hours.
Okay. It's getting a little Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like an actual...
You're talking about more of an actual like sort of third or first person...
Action-adventure.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's explore that.
So you have to do your rounds of the park and like maybe you can actually check some of the theme park rides to make sure that they are actually
working.
No teenagers are sneaking in to use it and all that sort of stuff.
As an Easter egg, can you like ride them?
I think so.
Just whenever you like.
I think that's
you might
the
get
secret
penalized.
VR mode.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. So you're a security guard, doing your rounds. So you just start seeing creepy stuff?
Yeah, I think it starts off with like the only thing that you've sort of got is your flashlight.
Yeah.
Which doubles as a baton.
Of course.
Because it's like, one of those huge 4D cell mag lights that are basically just a massive lead pipe.
Yep.
So you're going around, you're using just that to sort of see everything that's around the park. You get, creepy looking shadows that are actually innocent things.
Right.
And as you go, you start seeing like notes being left behind and stuff like that.
All right. So to add some flavor and some context, obviously we can't license any actual theme parks. It's not going to be Disney. It's not going to be Universal Studios. It's not going to be fucking Harry Potter World. What sort of characters does this theme park have? Is there a theme to this theme park? Like, let's throw some ideas around so we know what sort of things are going to be jumping out and scaring the fuck out of this security guard.
I see it as like farm animals, maybe.
Farm animals, okay.
So you got like maybe Bessie the cow and I don't know, whatever.
I mean, it should be something that was the one animal you could think of that's on a farm. Yeah. It should be something. It should be something innocent, I guess. Because that just makes them more creepy.
Yeah, like Henry the horse.
If you're already in like Stephen King land, then it's not going to have as much of an effect when the fucking car starts coming to life and the dogs attack you and the creepy little twins come around the corner and
I kind of like the idea of
the Tommy knockers
seeing in the distance like just like one side of a 2-person costume. So you see like the arse end of the horse running around.
Well, I love the idea of, okay. up ahead. Right, here, let me set the scene. So you're walking down Barnyard Alley.
Yep.
And all the lights are off. You've got your flashlight. And up ahead, you see the backside of Bessie the cow. And you're like, what's Bessie the cow doing out? You start walking towards them. And then all of a sudden, behind you, you start hearing her bell ringing. And you're like, how can the bell be behind me when the arse is in front of me? And then the arse backs up and you see that it's like cut off at the middle. And then you turn around. Moo!
It's just some dude in the backside just going, "Oh, we got you, Terry."
So what other characters do we have?
So I'm seeing it as like maybe like I've actually at the Little Owl show at one stage I did a walk around doing the security at night with the scouts.
Yep.
Which was really, really creepy because it turns out that like at the Little Owl show, all the side alley games and all those sort of things, people actually stay and sleep there.
Oh, yeah,
So you're walking around and you hear noise and you're going, what the hell's that? And it goes, oh, that's just one of the owners of the games. They're just sleeping in
well,
their
you
own,
think it is, but then
there.
one of those clown heads with the open mouths turns to face you.
It's actually a severed head.
With the mouth open and one of the balls stuck in its mouth.
Oh, and it's actually an eyeball stuck in its mouth. It's
God.
But yeah, I see it as, you could have a lot of fun with this sort of idea that it's just that psychological.
Well, I kind of like, I actually like that a little bit better of it being more of a like traveling sort of fair or something.
Traveling carnival sort of thing.
Yeah, traveling carnival. But it's still themed, like it's this crappily sort of, it's not like high quality, high budget. It's here comes the Farmival into town again. Just a local kind of thing. And you're a security guard for it. But then you do have all the sideshow games. You've got all the rides. And
you've got a kid maybe having just gone missing in the town.
Yeah, okay.
And that's sort of like the backstory of showing that something's not quite right.
Yeah.
And I think that you being the security guard, you're not actually, like, you don't travel with them.
No, you're just a local.
You just happen to be, you're a local, and their previous person had just left, and they hadn't quite replaced yet.
Well, I think they just hire locally. I just think they just hire from the town that they're in, perhaps.
And they don't let know all the secrets. And
yeah, and they're all totally ominous and creepy.
So I'm just wondering whether, you've got sort of like trailers, kind of like, in Thimbleweed Park, how Ransom the Clown had his trailer out to the side. Yeah. I think you got the trailer alley sort of thing that you can go down and like hear some weird noises and as Easter eggs, like, if that trailer's rocking, don't go a knocking, sort of thing.
You see the costumes hanging up outside. It's
necktie on the door, and it's like, oh, yep.
It's a necktie on the door, but like it's the necktie from the Donald Duck rip-off costume, where literally that's all he wears is the necktie over naked feathers.
The problem is there is literally no costume. He just wears like the little blue vest and the necktie.
And it's just a dude walking around.
Just a dude.
This is how low budget this fair is.
He's painted white.
He's just stuck a few feathers on him.
And orange
got
legs.
Feathers over his junk. Actually, they painted that to be the beak. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so what other gameplay elements can you have in this other than just being a walking simulator?
Well, I was kind of getting a little bit of a Dead Rising feel to it of sort of having your home base. Because maybe you find other people who are trapped in the park, or there's some people who work for the fair who aren't creepy.
Regulars.
Yeah. Or they've just started there or something, and you... So there's some conversation going there. Obviously, that can give you the opportunity for some exposition and some relationship building, perhaps. And yeah, in between each of your rounds, there's sort of a bit of a debrief and a bit of a downtime before you have to go out there again. Yeah. And as you start to discover these things, each time you go out, it gets more and more tense because something could attack you or something creepy is going to happen, and you don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I like the idea of having that home base. It's actually, gives you a chance to go back and get, okay, we've got a report of some kids who have snuck into the park and are really annoying all the
that's it. It can kind of
sideshow guys. Yeah.
So it could kind of give you some narrative, also change it up a bit, so it's not just I'm still doing my rounds. It's and I think maybe there should be some consequence, though, for not getting around, like not doing your rounds in a timely manner. Yep. So you do get a bit of downtime. Like, that nothing's going to get you in your sort of security center or whatever, your little security trailer. But you also know that time's ticking down until you're going to have to go out again.
Yep. Okay, so I'm thinking, as for what the buttons can actually do, you've got like the stick to... I'm thinking Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
You got the stick to like move
the... Is it third person or first person?
I think it's first person.
Okay.
You got the stick to like move the
flashlight.
To move the flashlight around. Yeah, I think it's a beam sort of thing, so it's really centered.
Well, wait, so is that just like, is it sort of standard look controls, or you're not? And it's centered, or are you thinking some way that you can...
I think you can actually like have it centered, or you can click a button to get into like a free look sort of mode that you...
So your view doesn't move, but you can move the flashlight around that
you
space.
Can move the flashlight in your view.
Yeah.
And if it goes too far to the side, then it will start to turn that way, so that it's not really annoying you, so you can't actually turn when you're in this view.
Okay, so you're really thinking you kind of have... There's a bit of scrutiny involved in certain places, like you kind of looking carefully in particular spaces. Yeah, okay.
One of the buttons, it will shout out, "Hey you," or "Stop," and you've just got a few different things that you can sort of
It'll just randomly
shout out.
Well, will it just randomly shout out some sort of "Who's there? Hey you!"
Yeah, and
what was that?
I like I like the idea
Security.
of, if you're saying you're yelling out too much in these sideshows, you get some of the people who are trying to sleep just start getting cranky and
Right.
and telling you to shut up and that sort of stuff. So you've got to be very careful to not get on their bad side, otherwise you'll get fired before the next night.
Yep.
But you've then got, some creepier things happening that maybe there's, as we were talking about the severed head before and that sort of stuff, you can have like some sort of murder mystery going on.
Yeah.
Of a serial killer.
Yeah. You could, and I mean, games have done this sort of stuff before, but I like this setting of, you're sweeping your flashlight around and you sweep it past the clown game and one of the heads is like dripping blood and eyes wide open and mouth wide open. But but
literally looking right at you.
Looking right at you, but you move it back and it's just normal. Again. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you could have it. You could have it so that, like, because I was just thinking, like, well, they might not swing right past it. They might focus on it. You could have it that, like, the flashlight flickers or like turns off for a second and turns back on.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea of maybe you every now and again you got to like bang on the flashlight. So that's another button. Try and bang on the flashlight to get it to work again. And just randomly happens that the flashlight's kind of shitty.
I think Last of Us did that, but yeah, it's a good mechanic. Just to give you that little extra bit of tension. Yeah. So are there goals? Are there goals as you're going around on your rounds? Is there some sort of like you have to seek something out, or is it just events that happen each time you go around, a fairly linear sort of thing?
Very basic missions. You've got the radio that they can give you new missions while you're actually out there.
Okay, yeah. So it's mostly just...
And I say missions, but they're just tasks.
Yeah, it's just like, go check this out. Can you flip this switch for us?
But then, you've got your overarching task of maybe the last time that the carnival was in town, your daughter actually went missing.
Oh, okay.
So that's what's made you, want to come in and see whether it was someone here.
So you've got an ulterior motive for even taking the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that idea of, your son or daughter was, a patron at the park last year and, disappeared, one night and, it's the first night you've just joined in and, then you get sort of shown the ropes the first night, the second night, some other stuff.
Yeah, you could build up to it in a pretty
little
classic
bit of creepy
way.
stuff. Yeah. I like it.
That's cool. I kind
of want to play it.
I just want to recognize that we have defaulted to the main character being a man and the person that's been like captured or killed to be his daughter. It doesn't have to be. I just
character selection at the start.
I just want to recognize that we probably do that too often, and we do try to be better, but unfortunately that's what comes to mind when we're just shooting ideas off the top of our head. I just want to recognize that, and yeah.
We've been trying to get better at that, but
we are
white men who have kids, and I mean, I went with daughter.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing is that like it's often so basically there's a trope, and we're going off of the funniness stuff here, but it's worth addressing this stuff sometimes. There's a trope called the woman in the refrigerator. I don't know if you're aware of this one. But it's basically, the basis of it is that a woman is killed to then push the male main character onto their like driving story arc. And it's a way that women are used, as narrative tropes and not as actual characters. So yeah, like the fact that you went with daughter actually plays into that a little bit. But anyway.
Fine then. But the security chief who you're working for, female.
Okay.
Done. And she's like an awesome character.
We solved sexism.
She's witty, she's awesome, and she kicks ass.
This is,
throughout the game.
We unfortunately, when we're coming up with these games, we don't go into all the characters a lot of the times, and we do try to bring in an even mix of male and female protagonists and antagonists when in the games where we even come up with that. But I just want to recognize that we do often default to he pronouns and male protagonists. And
we do try to switch it up when we notice ourselves doing it, but it's unfortunately, because of the game industry, that's what we're brought up with, and that's what most of them are, and we're trying to change that.
Unfortunately, because of the entertainment industry as a whole.
Well, exactly. Life in general,
Okay.
but yeah. Anyway,
3, 2, 1,
yeah,
click.
let's do it. Comfort.
Interior.
Okay. It's a... Well, this doesn't quite fit the words. I was going to say it's a pillow fight game. Because I went from comfortable interior pillow fighting. I'm not sure. How would a pillow fight game work?
It's just like Mortal Kombat.
So, like, you're decapitating people with pillows?
No, I'm just talking about, like, the 2D fighting sort of game. But, maybe you do have the finish him, and it's just like just a massive uppercut that you uppercut him into the fan or something like that.
It just feathers go everywhere. Maybe it's a fighting game, but you're all stuffed toys. That works. Comfort interior, because they're stuffed. That's their interior is comfortable.
Oh God! So the idea is to draw filling.
Yeah, first stuffing. You drew first stuffing. You can like tear limbs off and fluff just flies everywhere.
Flawless victory.
Furless
Flufftality.
Flufftality. There you go. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea of treating it super seriously, as if it's basically the Mortal Kombat of the world where everybody is a stuffed toy.
Oh no, I was actually thinking, okay, it's the Mortal Kombat as if you're in the world of Toy Story.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't just have to be stuffed toys. That's fair.
So you don't use the same characters, but we know within that world that toys can actually move around and talk.
I kind of like the idea of the ridiculousness of a licensed Toy Story Mortal Kombat port. Like,
so I think because they're just stuffed toys, at the end of each battle, if you happen to defeat a toy, they get repaired, but the damage remains. Like, you can actually see where the toy's been repaired.
Right, they've like stitched them up or patched them up.
For each cutscene going forward, they'll have your damage.
Yeah.
That you managed to inflict. Maybe you managed to rip Woody's arm off and wrap the string around his neck and break off the break off like the plastic pull string, the plastic ring. Yep. And so now when you see him, if you see his back, you see the actual a really crudely tied knot.
Yeah.
And then maybe you pull it and it doesn't quite finish what he was saying.
There's a snake in my boot. Yeah, well, and I like the idea then that you could maybe target, because I guess it could be a very precision sort of fighting game. I don't know how that would necessarily work mechanically, but if you target that arm again that you managed to rip off last time, like, it's going to come off a bit more easily. And the other player knows that, so they need to try to like keep that arm away from you. Or maybe they can like, maybe you can get a bit of a mix and match thing going on. Maybe after you kill someone,
Buzz's arm happened to come off, so you sew it onto Woody.
That's
and
it.
Now
maybe after you defeat someone, you can pick up all their bits that fell off that you knock off them, and then they're in your inventory. That before the next fight, you can replace some of your own bits. So, and it could just be decorative. So, like, let's say Woody is fighting
Squeaky the toy penguin.
No, I'm trying to think of.
I'm just imagining killing Squeaky now and taking his Squeaky voice box and having it sort of hanging on your side.
Okay, no, well, that works then. All right, so Woody... Oh, my God. All right, this is awesome. So Woody's fighting Squeaky the penguin. He gets his health all the way down. Squeaky manages to take off that ring off the back of his string. So he's got a move where he can, like, yank Woody's string and then he pulls it right off.
And but Woody beats him down. He does his flufftality where he like reaches his hand into fucking what is it, Squeaky?
Yeah, Squeaky. I'm pretty sure it's Squeaky.
Isn't it Wheezy
Either
or
way.
something? Or does they call him Wheezy afterwards? Anyway, into the
Who knows?
penguin, pulls out his squeaker, holds it up in the air, flufftality, and then you've got your like character sort of modification screen. He uses the squeaker to replace that ring, and from then on, every time his string is pulled, there's a snake in my and it squeaks it.
You get a little bit of wheeze.
You get a little bit
end.
of squeak.
I'm just picturing now, Ken and Barbie just rips Ken's head off and has like, a
Wears it
like a
handbag. Wears it as an accessory.
either like a handbag, but I was trying to think of what is it, like a bandolier sort of thing that Chewie's actually got, and so she's just got like all
the heads,
all the heads just sort of
Bo
tied
Peep
to
is
it.
on there, like the arm of one of the little aliens.
Yep.
It works thematically as well because this is a world where Sid owns all the toys. Or maybe it's
I like that you
Sid.
can bring in like the Franken toys.
Yeah.
Because that's-
Well, you can build them yourself. Like there's an interface for literally getting all those parts.
Yeah.
And you can build those Franken toys.
Mr. Potato Head, he's like an awesome character.
Oh god,
Like,
yeah.
He literally can, just take things off, throw them at people, and
Oh well, maybe he's one character where during a fight he can pick up things that he's knocked off the other player and attach them to
Person,
himself.
and just
Because
go,
otherwise you have to like do some work to sew them on or attach them or glue them or whatever. But he just plugs them right in. You get different abilities.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I really like this. I don't know how it's comfortable, but
Well, I just love that it's like that's actually thematically correct. Like it could be Sid versus Andy, and they're fighting with their toys basically, and Andy's having to turn to the dark side to beat him by Frankensteining his own toys. That's awesome.
like I'm now seeing that he's got like an X-Acto knife that he happens to take the blade out of and just stick it into Woody's arm.
That'd be cool too. That you can actually bring in like non-toy parts. Andy like soups up Buzz's laser so that it actually burns shit.
If it's there for too long, it's one of those. He buys one of those, lightsabers that they've got online.
Oh yeah, like the super high power lasers. Puts that into Buzz's arm.
But I'm thinking that maybe and then this could actually be quite funny. All the fights that actually go on, you actually see like the hands, they're down there actually moving the bits and pieces. So you've got these two massive hands.
That'd be an interesting animation challenge, but sure, yeah.
So one of your things is with one of the attacks.
Oh, you know
could
what?
actually be you could actually blind Sid.
Well, what I was thinking, that could be a way to give it that precision thing. Maybe it's not a fast-paced like Mortal Kombat style fighter. Maybe it's almost not quite turn-based, but because of the speed that you have to do things, like it's like, okay, I'm gonna move his arm up here, and then I have to move his leg over here, and then I'm going to attack forward.
Which is starting to sound remarkably similar to that game that we played at PAX last year.
Oh, that's true. It is a bit like that game. What was that called? You should plug
I can't
it
remember.
to our 7 listeners. Yeah, it was the one made by like the 15-year-old kid. It was awesome. Where you got a certain amount of movement to drag your character around.
But this is like the full 3D modeled Disney licensed
absolutely.
Toy Story.
Basically, Disney buys this kid's game and turns it into this. That'd work quite well for this.
Yeah, it would. It would indeed. This has been fun. Let's click again.
Okay.
Oh, actually.
Yeah.
Ben, what is your most anticipated game?
Well, you know what? I should have prepared for this. Because I
And you
fucking
didn't,
did this
so-
to you last week. Let's see.
I thought about it like 50 minutes ago and I'm like, fuck it, I need to do it.
So
I don't get to play many games, so there's probably a ton from like the last year that I haven't played that I could still say is my most anticipated. Let me have a think. I could say Shadow of War, but that's not actually fun to do. Like, it's such a generic name.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm supposed to be boycotting it because of all the loot box shit. I'm not going to, but sorry, Inconsolables. Yeah. All right. I'm going to say one that I have played, but I was waiting for it for a long time, and I feel like it's got a good name that we could use.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Heat Signature.
Nice.
This is one we've both played a bit recently. Indie game by the guy who did Gunpoint. Tom something, whose name I've forgotten.
Haverford.
No. Tom Francis. There you go.
I had to bring back a Parks and Recreation bloody...
They should have had an arc where he
reference.
made video games. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Heat Signature, yeah. This is a really, really fun game. Sort of procedurally generated, roguelike kind of space game with cool mechanics, all of which...
I don't give a shit about any of that.
Do you want to explain this segment to those who are joining us here in episode 43?
I've just asked Ben for his most anticipated game because we're just going to take the name of the game and then throw away everything else he knows about it.
That's the name of the game. What was that from? It's a knockout.
It's a knockout.
Yes, we're going to throw away everything we know about it, take the name, come up with a new game.
A new game.
Heat Signature. Okay. So my first thought was that you're a superhero whose only power is that when you sign your name, it heats up the paper. I don't know. Maybe you go around signing your name on bad guys and they catch on fire.
My first thought was Predator.
Okay.
And you can see in thermal vision, and there's the heat signature.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe something around...
detecting
thermal vision
thermally.
Or, stopping yourself from showing off your heat signature.
Yeah, I wonder if you could do some sort of puzzle game almost where you're trying to match up heat signatures of some sort. I don't know. That sounds boring.
You're the one that came up with heat signature.
It sounds just like a prompt that we might come up with anyway, so I thought there'd be some good stuff for it. Yeah, I like the idea of thermal imaging. Like, what sort of character could you play that would need to utilize that, I suppose, in a way that it's necessary? Okay,
so maybe it's a world in which the sun is too bright.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has to wear like these thermal goggles that can actually determine, differences in heat signatures.
Okay.
So that they can actually see in the world.
Okay.
Because the type of light that is given off by this sun has
like it would damage their eyes otherwise?
Immediately damage their eyes.
Okay.
So
they're not just sunglasses.
They're not just sunglasses. No. I'm picturing it as like, how when Arkham Asylum came out, everyone played through the entire game
in detective mode.
In detective mode.
Yes.
So pretty much you're playing through the entire game in thermal vision mode. Which makes seeing walls and shit really, really difficult.
Right. So you're basically having to navigate around by noticing when the heat signature or something disappears behind a wall, as opposed to actually being able to see the wall.
Quite possibly. Or depending on how long the sun has been shining on the wall, maybe the wall has absorbed some of the heat.
Okay, what sort of game is it? Is it a shooter? That'd be infuriating.
It could either be a shooter, or it could be or it could just be like one of those walking simulators.
Right.
Like
a sort of
Gone Home, or
like a linear narrative of sorts.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of maybe your character is like a spy within the game and trying to track
so I'm
someone.
amused that maybe you're... No, this probably wouldn't work. Because I'm just thinking, like, in our world, spies are the ones who would usually use thermal vision. Maybe in this world, you're the one person your special goggles are that you can see the actual light wavelengths, but only for short periods of time. Then you have to switch back to your thermal vision, which is what everybody sees.
So it's kind of like a flashlight mechanic in which you've got the a certain amount of battery power.
Yeah, like if you need to go underground where it's completely cold and everything just shows up blue, then you can power up your actual light goggles because it's very well lit with fluorescents that don't heat anything up.
Yeah, but then you could just take the goggles off if you're downstairs and got no chance of getting any sunlight.
Well, no, I think all the people in this world they've just adapted to it so much that
they're just mole people now.
Well, they've just adapted to it so much that they literally can't see without these goggles on unless they have these other special goggles. This is going nowhere. This is horrible.
Yeah, it's really not great. You chose kind of a shitty set of words.
Thanks, Tom Francis.
We definitely need to do something else. 3, 2, 1, click.
Counseling.
Fender.
Vendor or fender?
Fender.
Okay, like on a car.
Yep.
So it's the world of Pixar's cars, and you are a counselor for cars who have been in fatal accidents.
Fender benders.
Okay,
I was just thinking fender benders.
All right. I guess. Well, I mean that's less traumatic. Maybe. I mean, okay, just accidents in general.
I mean, where my mind went was this is an overly sensitive world in which people need counselling for something as simple as a fender bender.
Well, no, I think it's a bit more interesting if you have to, like, if you build up to, like, literally they were in a car accident where the other car was killed. Did you think in the world of cars, and I'm definitely not the first person to come up with this, but do you think in the world of cars, if two cars smash into each other at high speed, a human body comes out through the windscreen, but that's just kind of like they're in, like a normal person's intestines coming out? Like that's their innards? Because that'd be pretty horrible to see, and I think the car who survived it would probably need some counselling.
So, oh god!
Thanks for joining us.
So, is it a fully formed human, or is it just a skeleton?
I mean, I think it's kind of viscera in the shape of a human. Like it's kind of like it's one of their organs. It's kind of like. Yeah, it's kind of like if a person's body was ripped open, then like their intestines and liver might come out. One of the organs of a Pixar car's car is like the driver. Oh, my driver! You tore the driver out of me! I'm gonna die!
And that makes me wonder what the hell else is in the cockpit of this bloody car. It's like, just... Because we never actually saw whether there was actually blood, and sure there was oil and petrol and that sort of stuff. But I'm now just picturing like some lungs in the cockpit and like,
yeah, definitely
a beating heart, and it's just like
it's kind of like that episode of Battlestar Galactica where Starbuck goes inside the
you lost me.
Cylon ship.
You lost me.
You never watched it? All right.
No, I got it there. I just never watched it.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I just thought, hang on. You've in the cockpit, you've actually got like brain as well.
Like there's a brain
because of course, because it's behind the eyes,
right? So
I'm thinking that maybe, the skeleton / whatever, is just, as you said, as one part of their internal organs, but like you can have brain matter get ripped out with it, and some really, really disgusting.
Oh, it's gross. It's gross. And maybe counselling is only one part of the game. Maybe the other part of the game is you're a doctor or a surgeon, and so you literally have to like perform surgeries on cars. It's kind of half car mechanic simulator.
But you don't have hands. You've only got tires.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't know. How do fucking cars do anything in that world that requires fine motor skills?
I've always wanted to know how they make new cars.
Yeah, that's in the adults only DLC.
After the fender bender.
Oh, that actually, funnily enough, that's actually what they call sex. Like, that's innuendo. That's the slang term for fucking in the cars world. Hey, baby, come over here and let me bend your fender.
Sally and Lightning got into a fender bender. Oh, thank you all for joining us here on Bitstorm today, where we're about to get sued by Disney.
Yeah, definitely. Disney, for multiple games this episode.
Okay, so there's the title, Sued by Disney.
Nice. All right. If you want to find us on our social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we are on all of those, Bitstormcast. We have a Facebook group as well, facebook.com/group/Bitstorm, and each week we put up a listener click pitch. So go there and check that out. Check out the prompt. Tell us what games you come up with based on that.
This week's, I think, who was it? Was it Michael that knocked it out of the park?
Oh, yeah. What did we have? The deciding 9 was the prompt.
Deciding 9.
And his game about the Supreme Court deciding whether to impeach Trump or not.
So that was pretty awesome.
That was pretty good.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I can't come up with anything better than that. I'm leaving that. Then you came up with like a what was it?
What was mine?
The Voice sort of style.
Oh, yeah.
TV show.
A karaoke game, a multiplayer karaoke game, where
with 3 judges.
Well, with 9 judges,
actual real people.
9 judges.
It was 9 judges.
The prompt was 9, so
but are real people.
They're real people, and they sit there and watch you do bad karaoke, and then you either win or lose.
Yep.
We're also on Podchaser. Go there and search for Bitstorm. Soon you'll be able to go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm in a few weeks when we roll out those features.
Fantastic. We are on iTunes, where we'd really enjoy it if you would rate, review, and subscribe to us there. Hopefully we can see our download numbers actually increase.
That'd be nice.
We'd like you to check out our website, bitstormcast.com. It's a website. What more can I say? It's a website. Go check it out. We'd like to plug the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. We've got a lot of good friends out there, and we've got PAX coming up, so we'll have quite a few PAX guests.
I hope so.
Joining us on a few different podcasts, and we may even be on a super podcast, but keep an eye out for that.
Yep.
We are part of the 2 Pods a Day campaign. Every day in October, the 2 Pods a Day campaign will highlight 2 different podcasts. We were highlighted on day 8, I believe.
It was, yes.
And we got some pretty amazing reviews. Finally, we'd like to thank Kuridas for the song Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure. So, this has been Bitstorm. I'm Trevor Scott.
I'm Ben Slinger.
Thanks, Tom Francis.